probably my favorite part of any boat. That's kind of a fun new thing. But we are gonna look at the 31, the Sea Hunter Tournament 31. What else are we gonna do when we're showing you guys what you wanna see for the show? They actually have a really cool announcement. We don't even know what it is, but it looked like a pretty nice one, so I think we should check it out. We also have 3 engines, so I bet this boat flies. We're on the exact 35 Contender ST. I was not expecting that at all. This video is brought to you by eMotion Hybrid Systems. Welcome to the 2021 Fort Lauderdale Boat Show. Super excited to be here. You guys really like our boat show videos. Today we have something cool planned. Amanda's behind the camera. My name is Emily. Guys, it's been a wild morning. Like, if you knew what we had to go through to get here, it was crazy. But welcome to our channel, Gale Force Twins. In today's video, I need to like slow down and talk to you guys now. We are going to be doing something kind of cool. We posted to our Instagram story, so if you guys don't follow us there yet, you'll have to do that. And we asked you what you wanted to see, and we're gonna be using our Instagram stories to go view things at the show for you guys. You ready, Amanda?
Let's go.
Let's go. I saw a Reef Runner boat, and someone named Austin said, can you go to the Reef Runner boats? They have great boats. So I saw one here. I don't think it's their whole booth section, but it looked like a pretty nice one, so I think we should check it out. You see it? There it is. That looks like 30 foot plus-ish. Triple engines. We'll find out. We are on the 340 Reef Runner with triple 300 Mercuries, which are on the transom, which you guys will see in a minute. So this is the Reef Runner. And I guess what we will do is give you guys a quick little boat tour, because what else are we gonna do when we're showing you guys what you wanna see for the show? The first thing that I notice is there's no forward seating, and when I see that, I typically think fishing boat, guys, because when you're fishing, you can fish from the bow. If you're chasing sailfish or chasing fish down, an angler can come to the bow and chase a fish down, while the captain will literally drive forwards towards the fish, so that way you're basically literally chasing a fish. I feel like I've said that 20 times. Something else cool that I'm staring at right now. Amanda, let's look here. We have rod holder, cup holder, rod holder, cup holder, rod holder. I love when boats put cup holders between rod holders, because no matter where you're fishing from the boat, you can take your water bottle or your beverage of choice and place it in the cup holder. We actually had extra cup holders installed on our boat for this exact reason. Ours didn't come with it, but guys, the newer models, like the new boats, like the 2021s and 2022s, they're all coming pretty standard with things like this, which is really nice. Again, guys, our boat is 2005. You guys want to see the console? Let's go. Inside the console, we have a 6 foot, what did you say it was, Amanda?
6'2".
6'2" console. And guys, so you know, I'm 5'3" to 5'4"-ish. I like to say 5'4". So you guys can see it's a pretty high console. And I believe you can actually even take a shower in here.
You can take a shower, but what I want to do,
What?
I want to say hi.
Hi.
How do I say hi?
Hi. Wait, put it up more. Hi. Hi. Now we're at the helm, which is probably my favorite part of any boat. And something that is definitely becoming more and more common on center consoles like this is when you're sitting. If you guys can just look, Amanda, want to show them, there's a footrest right here.
So down here we have a footrest, so that when you're sitting up you can have one. But what Reef Runner boats did specifically, Emily, step down.
Okay.
There's a leaning footrest at the very bottom, so you can basically be standing and leaning
against
on your seat,
but also driving comfortably. And it kind of creates more of a natural angle, because everything starts from your feet up,
starts
guys.
at your feet,
So you have more of a natural angle to your lean.
and you can have a comfortable leaning footrest.
Next, I'm gonna point out something that I like about this live well that we have on ours too, and any boat that has these I think is pretty cool. Check it out, Amanda.
All right, we have a clear lid, so you can check on your bait, see if they're alive. But they also have an aquarium window, which is always a nice little touch to add.
Now we have this seat back here. And guys, I have a story for you. There was one day when I was working for another charter captain, and we had a long run to the Gulf, and I was sitting in this seat to give the clients like the forward seats and the nicer seats. And it was a long run, it was rough, and by the time I got back, I was like, my neck hurt, I was in pain. So what's really cool about this seat and this design is that it's actually angled a little bit backwards, you could say. So even when the boat's running, you have a little bit more for yourself to sit back, so that way when you're actually sitting in the seat, it's kind of like you're upright when the boat's running and you're not being pushed forwards like this. So I thought that was pretty cool. But wait, there's more. Check this out. So this is where Amanda and I were like, whoa. Ready?
Slide it out.
And
we got our tackle
so
station.
here would be the tackle station, and up here would be some extra storage. And depending on what you choose to do, if you have a lot of people with you, you can keep the cushion there, maybe put it in the console when you get to your fishing spot, or maybe you want to just go for a nice cruise and not ever touch your tackle station. Either way, I thought that was a really cool touch. We are now going to take a break from you guys showing us around the show to us taking you somewhere that we really want you to see. We have met a family full of geniuses that have created a fully integrated system called eMotion Hybrids that will take the amount of hours you're putting on your diesel engines per year from 1,000 hours to 100 hours. Let's go head to their booth. We are with Michele Maggi right now from eMotion Hybrids, who has created a turnkey system combining a diesel engine with an electric engine. It is entirely one system. And your system is designed for yachts, sport fish yachts, and catamarans. All right, guys, Michele Maggi just gave me the perfect scenario of how a fisherman would use the eMotion Hybrid system. Let's pretend we're sitting on the dock, running off shore power, and we want to go fishing for some blue marlin. First, we're going to turn off our shore power. Of course, it's by the touch of a button. We can run our sport fish, yacht, or catamaran on full electric propulsion as we head out of the slip and the marina and we get to open water. Once we're in open water, we're gonna switch over to diesel propulsion, again, by the touch of a button. And we're gonna run to our fishing grounds where we know the marlin have been biting. Now it's time for some trolling. It's the perfect chance to switch back to electric propulsion, again, just pushing one button. We're able to troll for 4 hours completely on the electric system. No generators, no fumes, no vibrations, none of that. We're operating entirely off the battery. After 4 hours, it's time for a quick recharge from the diesels. We're gonna push one button and we're gonna be 100% charged in 15 to 20 minutes. Let's just take a minute and listen to what a parallel hybrid system sounds like. So with your system, you can go from putting 1,000 hours on your diesel engines to 100, 150, 200 hours, correct?
Per year. Correct.
Per year. And then on your generator, instead of 2,400 total hours on your generators, you're putting, again, 100, 150, 200 hours.
Absolutely
So the
correct.
hours on your engines, on your diesels, your generators is drastically dropping. You're gonna be doing less maintenance on your generators and your diesels as well.
Only one maintenance a year.
One maintenance, exactly. With those many hours, that's around one maintenance a year. That sounds about right. If you're interested in an eMotion hybrid system, head to e-motion-hybrid.com. It's even possible to build a sport yacht, or catamaran without the generators and be at 0 hours. Don't forget, you can check them out on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. The next boat you guys asked for that we're going to be looking at is the Sea Hunter. I almost said 41. You guys asked for the Sea Hunter 41, but that is over at the Wet Slips, which is a shuttle ride away. It's a few miles away, and we are currently at the convention center, which is the indoor building. So we're not going to be able to get to the 41 at this very moment, but we are going to look at the 31, the Sea Hunter Tournament 31. We're going to take a look. Sea Hunter is definitely a very fishing heavy boat. We've got no seating on the bow, and once again, just like the Reef Runner, we've got rod holders on the bow. So we've got rod holders right here, all the way up to the front, and that's very common in, this is actually the tournament style boat, and typical tournament fishing guys are definitely fishing off the bow, the back, the sides, the entire boat, and this boat definitely has those abilities. Inside the console, of course, we have a head,
which a lot of people always ask us about that on our boats. So a lot of boats these days come with heads. It's kind of a standard thing. We choose not to use ours because if they break, that's just not something you want to deal with. But this boat has one. Most boats do these days. Plenty of space for me to touch the ceiling, so that's good. And I feel like that's also something that you'll kind of start to see is the newer boats are going to have plenty of headroom. They're going to have a head, they're going to have storage, and that's kind of getting more and more common, including having all your electronics inside. And the other thing that's new that you'll see on newer boats is you'll have your start and stop on your engines for the keys also inside the console. So the keys are going to go in here, and you will flip your keys to start, and then you'll go push the buttons over at the helm. And now we're at the helm, and you will notice that on the newer models, you've got your start and stop buttons. Sometimes they're somewhere down here, sometimes they're up here. So today, the start and stop buttons are up here next to the GPSs. We got start, stop, and that's kind of the new thing. Something kind of unique that I just noticed about this boat, which not all boats have, they usually all have their own setup on where the battery switches are. Sometimes they're inside the console, sometimes they're somewhere at the transom, sometimes they're under the seat, but these battery switches are, get that open, that's a strong magnet, inside the seat. So you'll see we've got our battery switches inside the seat, which I actually don't believe I've seen this before, so that's kind of a fun new thing for me. And now back at the transom, we have our rear facing seating. Open this up, you've got your tackle center right here, and we've got rod holder, cup holder, rod holder, cup holder. You can never have too many cup holders or rod holders on a tournament boat, that's for sure. Something that I'm actually really loving on this boat, especially because it's not a cat, is we've got two separate live wells on the transom. Now usually you'll see this a lot on cats. This is a V-hull. Normally in a V-hull boat you'll just see one live well on the transom, but this one has two independent live wells. They're both of solid size, so we're gonna go ahead and gotta twist that, open it up. So we got a nice big live well right here. Maybe you wanna keep your pinfish in here or your really hardy baits that are gonna last all day, and you gently put your goggle eyes in your second live well, or your pilchards, and I bet there's probably a floor well on this boat as well somewhere, especially if it's a tournament boat. You know, tournament boats are going to have a lot of wells. We also have a dive door or transom door or tuna door, whatever you want to call it, there's so many names for it, in the center of the V-hull. So that makes it kind of fun. You got a little ladder, easy to get off, swim, dive, jump in, or I don't know, maybe leader a sailfish.
Before we move our way to more boat tours, guys, we're over at Invincible, and actually someone asked about the new Invincible 33 Cat, so we're totally going to show you guys that because you might have seen our Instagram story like a few months ago, and we got to ride on the very first 33 Invincible Cat, which was amazing, but they actually have a really cool announcement, so we don't even know what it is. We're going to learn with you guys. You ready?
I got an idea. We're going to start with this new wildly successful 46-footer and bring out the next great thing from Invincible.
That was a pretty cool announcement, guys. I was not expecting that at all. So to be completely honest, we thought that they were going to announce that they are now in partnership with Yellowfin. So if you guys don't know that, I just told you. Apparently that's already public knowledge, and we thought they were going to kind of use the show to announce it, but instead they announced that they're coming out with a pilot houseboat. Wow. I mean, it's really cool for you guys if you're watching from the Northeast or anywhere where it's cold and rough all year and you want to go inside, maybe you have families, you want to go store some warmth or some of your rods or whatever you want to put in there. But without further ado, we need to show you guys the 33 Invincible catamaran. Now, somebody did ask for it on Instagram, but to be honest, even if nobody asked, you guys, we were gonna put it in this boat show video for sure. And some of you guys also asked specifically for catamarans. So we're getting two birds with one stone. We got a couple of questions and we're answering them right now. first thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna change it up. We're gonna start the transom. Normally we start the bow. Is check out the motors. So they're separate from each other. So this is some people call them twin hulls or twin V's because there's 2 V's. So instead of 1 V or a monohull, you have 2 V's. And each motor, or each engine is on each V, and there is a space between the 2 of them. Guys, I am loving this live well. So obviously you guys know that we love when you can look inside the wells without having to open the lid, so that's really awesome. But the shape is pretty cool. It's an oval shape, and it's just actually better, in case you guys are curious and you think about it, fish swim in circles. So, you know when you see a big aquarium fish at, I don't know, big aquarium, SeaWorld, and they have little bumps on their noses, that's because they're running into the walls. So guys, it's like an oval live well. It's like literally it's an aquarium on your boat. As we work our way towards the tackle center, which is also doubles as a seat, and this is gonna be a cooler.
So we have our cooler right here. Emily, let's go ahead.
And before I even open this though, I don't know about you, man, but I am loving the color of
Oh my
these
gosh,
seats.
the color's beautiful. We got like a light gray,
grayish.
dark gray, but the gray almost has like a hint of blue in it. So let's pop this open. And now we have our tackle center. So go ahead and open some drawers for us, Emily.
All right, we got drawers. We have little units for standards.
units?
Well, yes, units.
They're tackle boxes.
No, units for tackle boxes, like little cuddies, cabins, housing units for the tackle box. Get it? It's a housing unit for the tackle box. Is that weird? And then we have more drawers. Drawers are cool for pliers, knives. Maybe you make a drawer of sinkers. In our tackle station on our boat, we have a drawer dedicated to sinkers,
Garbage cans.
garbage
bags.
Yes, and then the housing unit for the Plano tackle boxes. I think that's pretty cool. And this is a very strong magnet to see, guys. So this actually magnets. Ready? Just like that. Something else that I'm loving that you guys saw on the Sea Hunter that we just showed you is the cushion on the gunnels. Like, look at it, guys. It literally covers every square inch of the gunnel all the way up to the bow, the entire transom. So anywhere where you're leaning on, anything where you're fishing against, if you're fishing like this, you won't get bruises and banged up on your legs. This boat is obviously not done, but you guys can see all the space that's here where the Garmin's would go, maybe the autopilot, the VHF, all the extra electronics and details. Those are there. Want to see them?
Of course they're there. See, in here, on this boat, we have the start and stop buttons next to the steering.
You guys may remember our 39 Invincible monohull boat tour we did when we were in Bimini. And there's no keyhole next to the start and stop button. It's actually inside the cuddy. And I think that's pretty cool. It's also kind of becoming standard today with the newer boats. I personally kind of like it for safety for kids and family. The fact that it takes multiple steps to get the boat to start is definitely probably going to give some parents a peace of mind. Something different from the 39 monohull from the Bimini videos is this. Check it out.
Okay, so we still have a bench seat.
We have it's 3 seats, but also kind of bench seat style because you can see that you can squeeze some more. You can probably squeeze 4 people, but you ready?
Do it.
So let's say there's only 2 of you, like there's 2 of us. We got cup holders. We thought that was pretty awesome. Are you ready, Amanda?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
Is it Emily approved?
It is Captain Emily approved. Moving forwards to the bow, you guys can see it is square. I don't know the proper language. Typically on a monohull, it's going to come to a point, and this one you have a flat surface. Like most hardcore fishing boats, especially the Invincibles, you guys are going to notice once again we have rod holder. I almost said cup holder. Rod holder, cup holder, rod holder, cup holder. This is designed for kite fishing, for fishing off the bow, for tournament fishing. So maybe you're fishing for sailfish and you're flying kites off the bow. You are going baits. Drifting baits, you side sea fishing, drift fishing, wreck fishing. This is a game changer, and you guys know we have a cuddy on our boat right now, and we do not get any kind of access like that. You ready to see something really unique? Okay. You may remember all the other boats that you saw today, and I was able to stand in it and put my hand all the way up, and it was like 6 foot tall. So some people consider this a downside to catamarans, and to some people it is, and to some people it isn't. There's no head in here. Now you can.
Let's point out.
Yes.
I don't know if anybody knows you're sitting.
I'm sitting. Yes. So I have seen heads inside cats. You could put a head in here, it would just obviously be a lot shorter and smaller. But that's because, guys, there's no boat under us right now. Literally right under me is the air because it's a catamaran. So you guys can see that it's much smaller and square. Great place for storage. It would depend on the boat owner and what you're looking for, but that is one thing that you're not going to get on a catamaran. But what you are going to get with a catamaran, because the V-holes are on either side, the port and starboard side, your fish boxes and your boxes are going to be very deep.
And here we have our super, okay, actually Emily, can you stand in there for me?
So this is where you're going to benefit. We're talking fishability. I'm standing in here. It is at pretty much
Can you
side
sit in it?
height. Oh yes.
This thing's huge.
How far does it go? My legs are completely straight right now and I'm sitting up.
Are you touching the end?
I'm touching the end, so it's, yes. There you go. Another request we got was for a dusky. Now, it's actually kind of worked out really well because Invincible is right over there and we were like, check it out. Let's go check out the duskies. So this is a cool situation because you guys have heard us refer to some of the boats we looked at as tournament boats. Now, when you think tournament boat, some of you might not know what that is, and it's okay because I probably wouldn't either if I didn't fish. So think tournament fishing. And when you think tournament fishing, think hardcore fishing. So think a boat designed for fishing. It's like a fancy way of saying hardcore fishing boat. So I'm on a dusky right now, and side by side I have the exact same models next to each other, but one is the tournament model and one is the more luxurious creature comfort model. So it'll be a fun way to compare.
You are currently looking at the Creature Comfort model, the transom, so you can see we've got seating, that's the answer. You've got some seating on the very back and also seating behind the helm seat. And now it might be a little bit easier for me to step in the boat, but you can see on the bow of this dusky, we have U-shaped seating up front, plenty of seating and space for just enjoying time with your family. Now we're switching over to the tournament model, so instead of that back seating, you have a live well, but you do still have some seating on the very back. And then switching over to the tournament model, there is clearly no seating, and instead of seating, we're gonna have rod holders up in the bow. Right now it's used for like a sunshade. The regular model back here, the family model, does not have rod holders in the bow. So you guys can clearly see that both duskies, I would consider the tournament model, it's a bare bones fishing boat. It's designed for fishing. And then we've got the Creature Comfort model, which is basically, I'd call it a bare bones creature comfort boat. So both boats, you guys have been asking for something more entry level when it comes to price. Dusky boats will do that. You're still gonna have your fishing gear, you still have your live wells, you have everything you would absolutely need, but it's not gonna break the bank. As in, I believe this boat that we're on right now is actually for sale right now at $111,000. Now that still is a big chunk of change, but compared to a lot of these hardcore tournament fishing boats are $500,000 or more, so kind of crazy on that. So that is the Dusky. So it's super clean, simple lines. There's not a lot that can break on these boats. That's something I would also think about is sometimes when you get boats with all these features, things break, you have to replace them. So having a simple bare bones boat means less is gonna break, less maintenance, less to repair, and less to worry about and take care of. What I really liked about this request was the specificity to it. You said the 35 ST Contender, which we are currently on. Now, kind of like we're talking about the Dusky, how there's the tournament models and then the more standard models. This ST stands for step hole. So Amanda will have to show them the step hole, because just like the other type of boats, Contender makes different models, and the ST stands for step hole. So we're on the exact 35 Contender ST. We have actually been on a fair amount of Contenders, I would say, and one thing they are known for is riding really well in rough seas. We are going to start on the transom. So first thing I noticed, we've got two perfectly nice live wells, one for your pilchards, one for your goggle eyes, maybe one for your pinfish, or you go lobstering and you throw your lobsters in one, and you go fishing later and you got your bait in the other. We also have 3 engines, so I bet this boat flies. Just like the Invincible boats, our favorite is bench seats that double as bucket seats. So the Contender has the same. This is actually very similar to the 39 as far as the seating goes. Bench seats that double as bucket seats. I'd call that Kona approved, because Kona loves that kind of stuff. But what I do want to show you is specifically with the ST model, what you're going to notice the differences are between the ST and the tournament. So let's go to the bow, because it's probably where you're going to really see the differences. We are now at the bow, and you can see we have tons of forward seating, which is kind of what you're really going to find in like the non-tournament style boats. But even though this is the ST model and not the tournament, you can see that they still left an opening right here, and it is still a very fishable boat. So you can kind of get both with this, and there are still rod holders up here. There's not 20 rod holders up here, but we do still have rod holders in the gunnels at the bow of the boat, and you can also always add gunnels after the fact.
At gunnels, Amanda, that's
At gunnels. Guys, we've toured a lot of boats today, and it is getting late, so you can add rod holders after the fact. But I just wanted to point out that with the ST model versus tournament model boats in general, not with just Contender, you're gonna get a lot more seating, a lot more creature comfort, and maybe a little less fishing, but some of them mush them together as well.
Amanda, take a seat. Is it Amanda approved?
It's Captain Amanda approved.
You heard me mention stepped hole, and some of you guys might be like, what's a step hole? And again, this is one of those in the industry vocabulary terms that you don't have to know, because I used to not know what it was before I worked in the industry, but now I do. So take a look, you guys. The stepped hole has essentially cutouts in the bottom of the hole, and they have a purpose. What they're designed to do is to create essentially air pockets. So when the boat's on plane going pretty much close to full speed up on the surface of the water, the less boat that's in the water, the faster the boat goes, because there's less resistance from the water. So the less water that touches the boat, the less force that's going against the boat. And if you create air pockets, you are just eliminating less and less hold from being in the water, and therefore the boat goes faster. We hope you guys enjoyed watching. We definitely had a lot of fun. It was pretty unique to have you all taking us around the show, and man, you worked us hard. We had to walk to a lot of different places and look at a lot of different boats, and guys, we couldn't even answer nearly as many as we would have liked to, but hopefully you followed along on our Instagram stories, and now you got to see the full thing in the video. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Why don't you get out there, have fun, and stay safe.